Today, we are diving deep into something that affects so many of us, this incredible, fast-paced world of digital wealth, and the very real, often hidden mental cost that comes with it. So, how do you actually build wealth without losing your mind in the process? Let's get into it.
You know, this line from our source material really just hits the nail on the head. It's such a powerful way to frame this whole conversation. Because real prosperity, the kind that lasts, it isn't just about a number going up in your account. It's about the stability of the person who's actually managing it. All right, so let's jump into the reality of this new landscape. We're living in the financial fast lane, right? Fortunes can be made faster than ever before. But, and this is a big but, that speed comes with a pretty hefty price tag. And this slide really lays out that paradox perfectly. On one hand, the opportunity is just mind-blowing. Pretty much anyone can get in the game, access markets around the clock, and scale something globally. But on the flip side, those exact same things create some serious emotional pressures. Markets that never sleep mean your brain never really gets to switch off. Seeing everyone else's wins 24/7 creates this intense fear of missing out, or FOMO. And the constant flood of information, it leads to total decision fatigue, where you just feel paralyzed. And that brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway here. For so long, we thought financial knowledge was the only thing that mattered. But in this new world, that's just table stakes. Your mental wellness isn't some luxury item you get to after you're rich. No, it has to be your co-pilot, sitting right there beside your financial strategy from day one. So, all of this pressure builds into this invisible toll. We see the success stories all over social media, the big wins, the overnight successes. But what we don't see is the psychological grind happening behind the screen. Does any of this look familiar to you? I mean, seriously. We are hit with more information in a single day than our ancestors probably saw in a whole month. And this constant stream of news, charts, and alerts, it's not just a distraction. It literally fries our brain's circuits. And the result is what you see here. You're exhausted, you can't focus, and even simple decisions feel completely overwhelming. So here's a question I really want you to sit with for a second. Is your brain addicted to speed? Because this digital world, it trains us for it. Fast information, fast trends, fast results. Our entire nervous system can get hooked on that pace, that constant feeling of urgency. And this is where that addiction gets really dangerous. When you're constantly chasing the next hot thing and seeing everyone else's highlight reel, taking a break doesn't feel like a smart recovery tactic anymore, does it? It starts to feel like you're losing. Rest starts to feel like failure. And that, my friends, is a one-way ticket to burnout. Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now, let's pivot and talk about the solution. And it all starts with a huge shift in focus, away from constantly tracking the external world and toward mastering our own internal one. This is the big idea right here. In a world where basically everyone has access to the same tools, the same charts, the same information, what's the real edge? It's your mind, your ability to stay calm when everyone else is panicking, to think clearly through the noise. That is the new competitive advantage. And look, this isn't some fluffy, abstract idea. Mental fitness is a skill you build with actual practice. Things like emotional awareness, just literally naming the feeling you're having, like, okay, this is greed, or wow, that's fear. It takes away its power. Or the pause technique, just waiting 5 seconds before you hit that buy or sell button. That can be the difference between a smart move and a huge mistake. Even simple controlled breathing can physically hit the reset button on your nervous system. These are your tools. Okay, so this brings us to this really cool, practical system from our source material. It's called the War Library. I want you to think of it as your own personal, strategic archive, a place where you turn all your experiences into actual wisdom. So, what is it exactly? Well, the War Library is basically a system where you document everything. And I mean everything. Not just the wins, but the mistakes, the rules you set for yourself, the emotions that were driving your decisions, and the lessons you learned from all of it. It's like creating a mirror so you can finally see your own patterns clearly. And this is why the name is so brilliant. WAR is actually an acronym. The W is for wisdom. You're turning raw experience into knowledge. The A is for awareness. You're finally seeing your own mental and emotional triggers. And the R is for records. You're creating a physical blueprint of your own journey, your own growth. Your library is built on these 4 pillars. First, you write down your lessons, so your growth becomes something you can actually see. Second, you create hard rules for yourself. Think of them as guardrails, like I will not check my portfolio after 8 p.m. Third, you analyze your decisions, why you made them and what happened, so you can start recognizing your patterns. For instance, decision, I panicked and sold everything because of a scary headline. Outcome, I missed the recovery. Emotion driving me, fear. And finally, you track your emotions to see exactly how your mood is influencing your money.
All right, so how do we pull this all together and make it real? This last part is all about turning these insights into real day-to-day action. It's about building your wealth and protecting your mind at the exact same time.
And here is a fantastic, super simple place to start, a weekly reflection. Just taking a few minutes to ask yourself these 5 questions is how you build your war library. You're documenting, you're analyzing, and you're creating this incredible feedback loop that just makes you smarter and calmer every single week. Because ultimately, this is the entire goal. We have to redefine what wealth even means. It's not just a big number in an account. True wealth is having that success and having the internal stability to actually enjoy it. One without the other is just a hollow victory.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought because it really says it all. This journey of building wealth, it's going to change you. So the real question isn't just about what you're going to build. It's about who you're going to become while you're building it. Are you going to become more anxious, more reactive, or are you going to become more disciplined, more aware, and more whole? And as we've seen today, that choice is completely up to you.